Hi, good night, everybody. I want to continue from what I started discussing earlier. I was doing a walk and started sharing my thoughts. And I was looking at the culture and society in Barbados because right now, at this moment, I am in Barbados. And most people say that I'm quite fortunate to be here, nice climate, nice weather year round. While it gets a bit humid sometimes. For me, it could be a bit overbearing, but yes, it is a beautiful place to be, and people here are truly blessed. Now, earlier I started talking about our culture, a negative aspect of our culture in terms of the way we handle situations, the way in my opinion, I would say the way we try to control people by shaming them. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say that there is a young person. Let's say there's a young girl, for example, and let's say that perhaps she's still in secondary school. She starts dating, and her relatives, let's say her aunts or uncles, may not be happy with the way she's behaving. Let's say she's constantly changing partners, which obviously is a little concerning. Um, Typically, the way that people around here would deal with that, they would say, "Oh, that young girl, you in a good, and you just like your mother, you just like your father, and they would say, oh, you can get ears, and oh, she's a disgrace to this family, and just go on and on and on, and like, all these awful things, instead of, perhaps trying to find somebody appropriate. Let's say someone that could be a mature female in the family, a mature female in relative, sit down and have a conversation with the girl, and just try to understand where she's coming from, and just try to have something that's like absolutely not judgmental. And that is just one example. I find far too often we just try to uh, shame people in order to get them to do what we want, or to get them to behave in a manner in which we want. Now, sometimes, get me clear, the motive may not be a bad thing. Obviously, somebody's behaving in risky behavior, you want to correct that type of behavior, but the way in which you go about it, in my opinion, only makes matters worse. Because if you attack someone's dignity, someone's pride, then that person becomes, well, that person feels worthless. And what will that person do? It will just continue to behave in an antisocial, in a negative manner more, because then that person feels worthless, or like being so worthless. Now, and if we say that we are a Christian society, and Jesus, especially in the New Testament, he spoke a lot about he just taking our guilt away, taking our shame away, so on and so forth. So actually, what we're doing is going contrary to the teachings of Jesus Christ. And I see this on so many levels. I went to a store last week. They trade items, they buy second-hand items, and they sell them and so on. Uh, went in the store, but there were two branches of the store. First branch I went in, I had a whole bag full of stuff. I had no idea what they accept and so on and so forth. And I just found that the attitude of many of the staff was just a bit condescending. And then there was a young man came next to me. He saw that I was selling something, and he, um, just made an inquiry about it. And then there was this guy sound like Trinidad, you know. You said something like, oh no trading in here. Y'all go outside and do that. I It was just his mannerism was just not pleasant, just very offensive. And then me and this young man we couldn't have a conversation, and he kept repeating and repeating. It was just not appropriate. And then also too, there was a member of staff. He's a black guy. He seemed had a British accent. His whole mannerism, his everything about him was just again extremely condescending. But we accept this as people in Barbados from people of from other countries. Why? Because that's our culture, and we need to take serious thought about this whole aspect of how we deal with other folks, how we allow people to deal with us, and we need to think about going about this thing in a different manner altogether. Now, we need to walk with more confidence. As I said earlier, when I started discussing this topic before, growing up, I would observe that little children from Barbados, when you ask them to speak, let's say that there's some interview going on, you put a microphone in front of these kids and you put them on camera. Many kids from Barbados will just freeze up. It just seems so shy, so embarrassed. Sometimes I recall even in a classroom, you might ask a child to get up and say something. How was your vacation? How was your holiday? And lots of our kids would just freeze, not hardly a single word they could utter out of their mouths. Now, when you observe other kids in other parts of the world, it's total opposite. Like people say that they could sell kids from here in Barbados. You ask them a question and just go on, just flow, just fluent. Are these kids any smarter than our kids here on this island? No. But our kids are victims of what they call this shaming culture. And obviously that's why they have less confidence when they have to speak. So those of you who have been victims, I'm sure probably all of us have been at some point in our lives, whether from parents, from siblings, from teachers at school, even church members, people in society at large. We need to figure out how to get over it. Also, one incident I remember as a child, I remember once riding my bicycle, and it was a road close to our home growing up, and as a young kid, you just enjoy riding, so I used to go a bit quickly. So I came riding down this hill, I fell, I probably had some bruises and so on. I got up wounded physically, um, emotionally, and there was this gentleman, middle-aged, elderly at the time. And the first thing he said to me wasn't like, "Are you okay? Can I help?" No, he said to me, "Is that bicycle, is that yours or mine?" He was more concerned about the bicycle than my well-being. That's what he expressed to me in that rhetorical question. And he just added to my embarrassment as a child. And That's just one of many examples I could give. So again, those of you that experience this, again, just hold your head up high and remember that people that do this to you, they are victims in themselves. And do not be reactionary. Do not react. Do not overreact. Do not. Just think of these people as victims. Just be cool, calm, and collective. And sometimes, you do not even have to respond to these people. Just be about your life, know what you want to achieve in life. You don't have to impress anybody out there. Just know what your goals in life are. Just go about your life with confidence. Thank you.